Epictetus, the slave who was freer than any emperor. He was a slave, not a metaphor, not a literary device, a human being who legally belonged to another man. No rights, no property, no freedom of movement. And he became the freest philosopher Rome ever produced, not in spite of his slavery, but through it. Epictetus was born around 50 AD in Hierapolis in what is now Turkey. He was brought to Rome as a slave and given to Epictetus, a freedman of Emperor Nero, known for his cruelty. There is a story, perhaps real, perhaps symbolic, that Epictetus would torture Epictetus by twisting his leg, and that Epictetus calmly told him, "You are going to break it." And when he broke it, Epictetus simply said, "I told you so." He did not scream, he did not beg, he did not hate. That moment captures everything Epictetus taught in the 50 years that followed. He was eventually freed, studied philosophy under the Stoic Musonius Rufus, and opened his own school in Nicopolis. He never wrote anything. Everything we know of him was recorded by his student Arrian, a slave who left no books, and whose words changed Western thought forever. First lesson: the dichotomy of control. This is the most important idea Stoicism has ever produced, and Epictetus formulated it with a precision no one has surpassed. He said, in the Enchiridion, "Some things are in our power, and others are not. In our power are opinion, impulse, desire, aversion. In a word, whatever is our own action. Not in our power are the body, reputation, office. In a word, whatever is not our own action." Stop there. This is not abstract philosophy. It is a practical tool you can use today, right now, in any situation that causes you anxiety. Are you worried about what someone thinks of you? Not in your power. Are you worried about how you respond to what they think? That is in your power. Are you worried about losing your job? Not in your power. Are you worried about how you act while you have it, and what you do if you lose it? That is, Epictetus called mixing these two categories the fundamental error of human life. We suffer, he said, not because things are bad, but because we confuse what depends on us with what does not. Second lesson: you are not what happens to you. You are how you respond. Epictetus said something that sounds simple and changes everything. Men are disturbed not by things, but by their opinions about things. He lived this idea from the inside, in a way no other philosopher could. He was a slave. He did not choose that. He could not change it, but he chose. And this is what makes Stoicism a philosophy of iron rather than resignation. He chose what it meant for him. It did not mean he was inferior. It did not mean he should hate his master. It did not mean his life was worth less. It meant there was a part of him, the part that thinks, that chooses, that responds, that no master could touch. He called it the hegemonikon, the ruling center of the soul. And he said that center was completely free, regardless of external chains. You also have that center, and most of the time you surrender it voluntarily to the opinion of others, to fear, to the desire for approval, without anyone taking it from you. Third lesson: act as if you chose everything that happens to you. This is Epictetus's most difficult teaching, and his most liberating. He said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." This is not passivity. It is something more radical. It is acting with full intention within any circumstance. It is saying to your life, "I accept this, not because I have no other option, but because choosing resistance is choosing suffering." Epictetus was a slave and lived as a free philosopher. He was lame and taught about the strength of the body. He was poor and never wrote about lack, not because he denied reality, but because he knew reality did not define him. There's a thread that connects the three philosophers in this series. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world. Seneca was the richest. Epictetus was a slave with no legal name and no freedom. And all three arrived at the same conclusion. Freedom is not outside. It never was outside. Marcus Aurelius could lose the empire. Seneca could lose the fortune. Epictetus had already lost everything the world considers valuable. And all three were free in the only way that matters. That is not coincidence. It is the strongest proof Stoic philosophy has ever produced, that its truth does not depend on circumstance. It works on the throne, in the palace, and in chains. Epictetus died old, free, without property, and without published books. He left one phrase that summarizes everything he taught: endure and abstain. What are you spending your hegemonicon on?